All right, more and more you see accidents like these on the news. Trains carrying crude oil flying off the rails and exploding into balls of fire. And the oil that doesn't burn, it can end up in our water supply.
Well, accidents involving trains transporting crude oil have cost the federal government more than $10 million this year alone. So why is the administration ignoring the one simple solution to all of this? Put it into the Keystone Pipeline. Joining us right now is Fox News and Fox Business Network senior correspondent Charlie Gasparino. Charles, good morning to you.
You know, occupational hazards, stuff like this happens all the time, but it is kind of odd that the president would block the Keystone Pipeline, which is pretty much of an efficient way to deliver fuel to the United States, and go for this effort. We should point out that Warren Buffett, one of his good friends, I believe owns a railway.
A bunch of trains.
A bunch of trains.
So he's getting rich off it.
Maybe there's a political angle here. But, you know, my guess is that, you know, President Obama will continue to block the Keystone Pipeline. I think it's like, you know, certain things of the left is you can't be for. And this pipeline thing for the left of the Democratic Party is like, you know,
except
Nirvana.
the unions, so like the jobs.
Well, you know, when it comes down to, you know, what's interesting about liberals, when it comes to working people or the environmentalists, they pick the environmentalists every time for some reason, because that's where their cash comes from. There's a lot of money from those environmental groups. Now, unions give good money, too. But, you know, labor unions are a smaller part of the Democratic Party equation, right?
It's getting smaller all the time.
It's smaller all the time. It's mostly public service unions and these environmental groups.
Charlie, within the context, though, I would hope the administration and officials there would take a look, right? I mean, with the accidents that we've seen, this one here noted, and then what's going on in Iraq, what better time is there than to open up, get this Keystone going?
And not just Iraq. Think about the Ukraine.
Of course.
Russia right now is, you know, threatening, and not just threatening. They're cutting off some oil supplies to the Ukraine. It'd be nice if we were able to supply the Ukraine with some oil. And, you know, the president does not understand simple economics. I've heard him go out and say, well, you know, if we produce more oil here, it'll just get used up someplace else. Well, guess what? The fact that it gets used up someplace else, that's extra demand, that's extra supply. The price goes down.
No kidding.
And leverage.
It helps free Western Europe up, perhaps, too. Let me just real quick. Al Gore yesterday is speaking. He said the president finally on the same page of global warming. I predict the XL pipeline will never get built.
Yeah, it probably won't. Not as long as
under him.
Not under President Obama's watch. But, you know, listen, I think people understand that fracking, the pipeline, stuff like that, creates jobs. It's good for the economy. And one thing this economy needs is jobs. We have a very low job creation rate.
Absolutely. All right. Charlie Gasparino from Fox Business. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
Great to see you always.